The museum got its start in 1981. There was a gentleman, Mr. Dietz. He had a collection of over 300 flat irons. They were antique, vintage, all the way up to more modern. And he was getting a little bit older. He was looking to pass on the collection. And Eva Buck and Eleanor Nelson were interested in keeping the iron collection in Solano County. So they created the Vacaville Museum Foundation to raise the funds to buy and preserve the irons. Once they had the irons, they were sort of like, well, what are we going to do with these 300 irons now? So the Buck family donated the land and many of the funds that went to building the museum. And the museum opened its doors in 1984 with the iron collection being one of our very first exhibits.
My position here at the Vacaville Museum is to take care of our collections, of course, as well as to research and build our exhibits. In the collection, we have quite the mixed bag of photographs, archival material, so that would be newspapers, receipts, old business, land deeds, maps. We also have objects like our large iron collection. So we have a pretty diverse collection, I would say. So when we're putting together our exhibits with our collection, we can have a pretty good mix of photos, archival material, objects, things people can touch. That was pretty great. Here at the Vacaville Museum, we cover all of Solano County. So quite a lot of ground to cover when we are putting together an exhibit, because it's not just here in Vacaville, all of Solano County. It's finding the right cases, the right props to put in, the different types of graphics, choosing the color palette. I would say that 90% of exhibits is the stuff that happens prior to setting up the exhibit. And once it's actually setting up the exhibit, that to me at least is the easier part, because by then we have that vision of what it's going to look like, what we want people to see.
So the museum has been here for almost 40 years. And when we look at how our culture and our society and our technology and the way we even just relate to each other has really transformed over those 40 years. And my vision for the museum is for us to be more relevant and in touch with how things have changed and what our community needs. So instead of just being a exhibit where people might come in and look through for 15 to 30 minutes and then not come back, maybe for another 8 months, the vision for the museum is to be a place of community, a place for people to come over and over again for events, for interacting, and just to be a part of the community. So some of the ways that I would like that to happen is to just have different exhibit-related events, more family-related events, and to really bring people together.